What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to a 1v1 game in between Marinelord and Kelazhur on King of the Hill. We will have a Rus mirror today. On the right side is Kelazhur as red, and on the left side is Marinelord in blue. The showdown of Starcraft players, so to say, Kelazhur being member of Team Liquid and Marinelord also a big name in the Starcraft community, as we do have the hunting cabin coming up for both players to start with. So, let's talk about the Rus mirrors over here, because part of the reason why Rus is a popular civilization for King of the Hill is because it's pretty easy to pull off a fast castle build on this map. The Rus fast castle has become more and more popular over the last couple of weeks, and on this map, which is not so much known for its aggression, or the aggression that you can put up on your enemy early on, the fast castles are completely legitimate builds over here, so that's part of the reason why Rus can be a pretty decent civilization for this one. Now, when it comes to the Rus though, their early build orders live and die with the amount of bounty they can get from the hunt, and a Rus mirror completely changes that. If you're up against something like French or any other civilization that's not Rus basically, you are probably going to have the scout numbers advantage, and you're probably going to be able to get around 250 gold from your bounty. But not in a Rus mirror, because in the Rus mirror you're competing for those huntables, and if one player is able to catch those patches of deer, potentially yoink the wolves that are lying around the map early, then the opponent could actually fall behind quite a bit in terms of bounty. So this first couple of minutes are very crucial for both players, as they're looking to bring in as much bounty as they can. Marinelord already has 2 scouts out, the third one is on the way, and Kelazhur is doing the exact same thing. In fact, Marinelord already has a 3rd scout out, and he's bringing in a 4th one. So, as I said, massive amount of emphasis put on scout production over here. Currently, Marinelord is at 160 bounty, Kelazhur is sitting at 130, so relatively even in that regard, especially when that wolf arrives. That will give 25 to Kelazhur. Kelazhur looks like he stopped at 3 scouts, which is the usual way to play Rus, but I appreciate how Marinelord actually went for 4, simply because, as I said, this is a competition for bounty here, so that 1 extra scout can really justify its investment, so that you are getting that extra gold you need. It's not just about the early gold over here, it's about getting to that tier 2 bounty, which would give you a nice little food gathering bonus. Now, here's 3 wolves, that's 75 gold worth of wolves out there, but it looks like Marinelord missed them, so did Kelazhur for the time being, so whoever finds that, that's gonna be jackpot for them. Looks like Kelazhur really wants to yoink that sheep off from the back of Marinelord scout, but he's probably gonna be more than happy trying to take that wolf out there, and it looks like Marinelord actually steals it from him. So this is one of those situations where the scout will try to lure that back to the town center, Kelazhur will keep shooting at it, and what Marinelord needs to do is that he needs to take the final shot on it, but his scout is actually getting further away from that wolf, so I think Kelazhur could have finished it off if he really wanted to. Marinelord on the way to Feudal Age with 5 on that Golden Gate, very fast feudal for him. Whereas on the other side, Kelazhur is sort of doing the exact same thing. As you see, Kelazhur finding 2 wolves, potentially 3 out here, and there's a 4th one. That would be a jackpot for Kelazhur. Looks like he misses out on this one on the left and this one, so Marinelord might get lucky here, because if Kelazhur finds 4 wolves, that's 100 bounty, pushing him to 250 at minimum, so he would get the level 2. Marinelord is not far away from level 2 himself. Now, in this matchup, it's almost mandatory to grab the professional scouts, and that's probably what we're expecting from Marinelord. You already made a lot of scouts, might as well bring in as much deer as you can, and I think Marinelord wants to steal this patch of huntables from Kelazhur, because he's moving out with the scouts here. Not a surprise, you're trying to take your opponent's hunt first. There is the professional scouts upgrade coming in for him, and same thing for Kelazhur, so far it is dead even gameplay. Marinelord is at 225 bounty. Kelazhur is at 180. Where did the wolves go? Did they go back or... Oh, they de-aggroed. So Kelazhur is gonna have to take them down over here. Meanwhile, you see Kelazhur wants to keep these scouts at bay because he knows exactly that his opponent is coming in for his hunt. 10 more gold over there for Kelazhur, and 50 more coming in here in the form of wolves. Looks like we don't have any tickets here for Kelazhur on the Golden Gate. There is one for Marinelord, and Marinelord was a couple of seconds faster with that professional scouts upgrade. You see he's got 18 seconds remaining on this, whereas it's still 27 seconds for Kelazhur. So Marinelord with 4 scouts should be able to pick up half of this patch. And for Kelazhur, he just needs to bring his 3 scouts in here and take whatever is left and then try to yoink the hunt of his opponent. Now, Kelazhur found another wolf in the middle of the map, so that's gonna be 75 juicy gold coming in for him, pushing him to level 2 bounty, whereas Marinelord will be stuck on level 1 for some more time. If he kills 3 sheep, which is 15 gold, he should get to level 2 though, so he's gonna be able to get to level 2 as well. So bounty-wise, Kelazhur's start was a tiny bit better, but in terms of hunt being picked up, Marinelord probably got the head start over his opponent. Oftentimes when you're doing this deer ferrying build, you're also going for the survival techniques upgrade, so you can actually boost your villager getter rate as well from the hunt, but that is sometimes skipped by certain players. Looks like Kelazhur is bringing in another scout, so he's gonna have 4 out on the field as well, probably trying to take this hunt here from Marinelord. Marinelord already swooping in with the scouts again. He could try to quickly pick this up, or go for the scout or the hunt of Kelazhur. Looking at Marinelord, his food count is looking a tiny bit better right now. As I said, I think he caught the start a little bit better when it comes to acquiring the hunt. And that starts to show. But remember, Marinelord is on level 1 bounty, so he's only getting a plus 5% food getter rate, whereas Kelazhur's got a plus 10% boost. So, defensive tower up for Marinelord, that's going to boost his food income. We also have a defensive tower out here for Kelazhur, so complete mirroring of each other over here. The exact same build orders by the players, very, very small differences between the two. Marinelord looks like he's gonna be up to Castle Age a tiny bit faster over here, although he's a little low on gold. Chances are that he will wait for a ticket on the Golden Gate, and we'll just try to get the gold that way. This is pretty common with the Rus Fast Castle build. You're not even mining gold, you're just obtaining your gold from 2 sources. Actually, it's free. A, bounty, and that's why that bounty race at the beginning is so important. B, the hunting cabin's gold trickle. C, selling the food that you get using the Golden Gate. And since you have a good food eco, thanks to the fact that you got the food gathering boost from the bounty system and you're ferrying in deer, you're gonna have a lot of food to work with, so it's not really a problem to sell some of it for gold. The follow-up to this build is the Abbey of the Trinity, which will allow you to get some warrior monks out, secure the relics, and sort of capitalize on the early Castle Age by getting some relics in and getting that extra gold income with that. It's a race to relics now for this Rus mirror, and Kelazhur isn't messing around. That's 15 villagers on that Abbey of the Trinity. 11 as well for Marinelord, but 15 is brutal. It just tells you that Kelazhur wants to be up to Castle Age as fast as possible. Going for triple archer range is pretty common as well with the Rus. He's going to play Cav archers, but the first warrior monk is also already coming in. Looks like Kelazhur is about to swoop in, try to take the hunt from his opponent, but there is no hunt left over here at all. I think the final piece of huntable was taken by Marinelord, who is about to hit Castle Age as well. Also going for a Cav archer build. So once again, very, very similar approaches by the 2 players, but Kelazhur already has half a warrior monk created, so he's getting close to getting that first one out, trying to get a relic for himself. Meanwhile, look at this. Kelazhur positions his scouts on the hilltop over here, which gives him a very, very good vision on the base of Marinelord. I would love to see one scout around here as well, so that he's got this entire area covered with vision. Meanwhile, Marinelord is looking to steal some hunt from his opponent as well. His scouts were looking at the location of the huntables here for Kelazhur. That's where Kelazhur's hunt was, but it's also gone. Looks like all hunt has been cleaned up, so now your scouts are pretty much good for arrow fodder as a meat shield or something that can be hidden and just placed in key locations to look at the enemy. Cavalry archers on the way for Kelazhur. The first warrior monk is already out, and you see, the idea is pretty clean. You want to go in, take that relic, and this is one of the reasons why this fast castle into warrior monk and relic is very popular. With a civilization that doesn't have these highly mobile warrior monks, they would not be able to capitalize on the Abbey of the Trinity so much. You really need the mobility of these monks to capitalize on, and that's the reason why you're going for this build. Because this way, you beat your opponent to Castle Age if your opponent is playing a different civilization, and you are gonna have relics coming in that will boost your gold income. Now, The warrior monks also allow you to take control over the sacred site in the middle, and since on King of the Hill there is only one sacred site, the moment someone captures this sacred site, the 10-minute countdown for victory begins. Looks like Kelazhur is able to take a decent fight over here. He did lose 2 Cav Archers before, but now he's the one taking down Cav Archer from Marinelord. Marinelord coming in with 4 ranges worth of Cavalry Archer production. Only 3 ranges for Kelazhur, but seems to be a lot more consistent when it comes to production. And there is a Blacksmith coming in as well, which could be a difference maker here. Scouts at this point, as I said, are just arrow fodder. It's all about just absorbing that arrow fire and letting your Cav Archers live a little longer. Kelazhur notably has brought in 1 relic already, and there's a second one coming in as well. Whereas for Marinelord, he's sitting on 1 right now. There's 1 more on the north, and I think there is 1 more relic coming in for Kelazhur, so he's gonna be sitting on 3 and potentially 4. He got the start of Castle Age a little bit better, and that shows. 3 relics here will be a difference maker, as the defense upgrade is coming in right now for Kelazhur. Currently, the Cavalry Archer numbers are slightly better for Marinelord. He's got 8 versus 5, and he is taking a pretty decent fight over here. The scouts are being focused down so they no longer interfere with the combat, but the fight will be costly here for Kelazhur, losing quite a lot of his Cavalry Archers. This fight is going on before the defense upgrade would come in, so currently you see there is no defense upgrade on either player's Cavalry Archers. If Kelazhur can wait like 10-20 seconds more, yeah, it's more like 10 seconds, then he can take a quite advantageous fight. You see, Marinelord is moving out to this next woodland over here. Defensive tower will help protect the villagers and, of course, boost the lumberjacking. Whereas for Kelazhur, his second woodland is pretty conveniently located, I must say, as Kelazhur tried to stop this warrior monk from Marinelord from capturing the middle. Marinelord takes the sacred site, which will give him a gold income, and as I said, it's going to trigger the sacred site countdown. That warrior monk, though, will get picked off by the Cav Archers. This one, on the other hand, does escape, so Kelazhur was able to save his warrior monk, and he's neutralizing the sacred site immediately. Now we do have a defense upgrade for those Cav Archers, so it's 1 ranged armor versus 0, and no attack upgrade for either player. In fact, Marinelord just finished with his Blacksmith, but there is no upgrades coming in on that, whereas Kelazhur is already going for the attack upgrade as well. Marinelord is playing with the numbers here mostly. He had 4 ranges worth of production as opposed to 3 at the beginning. Now it's also 4 for Kelazhur, but Kelazhur prioritized the Blacksmith over a 4th range, so the quality of his Cav Archers will be slightly better. Currently it's 3 relics, 4 relics even for Kelazhur. He yoinked the 1 from the north, so in the end it's 4-1 in terms of relic count. That actually is very painful for Marinelord, who still doesn't have level 2 bounty. So he's also suffering from that deficit compared to his opponent, who already has level 2 bounty and the corresponding villager getter upgrade or getter boost. Currently, we're looking at 44 villagers for Kelazhur and 45 for Marinelord, dead even in that regard. 14 Cav Archers over here for Marinelord and 19 for Kelazhur, and as I said, the quality of those Cav Archers are also better, so Kelazhur is slowly taking over, and now this is gonna be a difficult fight for Marinelord, because Cav Archer mirrors is the situation, and that's very, very hard to swing back in your favor. Because the thing is that you don't have a very, very good direct counter to Cav Archers in this matchup. Foot Archers in large numbers would work, but that's just something that takes too much time to get to, and in the end, the problem is that you're making the same units, but your opponent has 4 relics, and you only have 1, so really, currently the problem that Marinelord is facing is that his opponent is ahead in economy, and the armies are pretty much the same. In fact, it's better for Kelazhur. He already has the attack and the defense upgrade, whereas Marinelord has neither. So, he's just now grabbing Boyar's Fortitude. Wait a minute, that must be a misclick. Boyar's Fortitude will give you some HP. Now, it says it increases the HP of Cavalry. I only remember the Knights being buffed, but it might buff the Cav Archers. So, yeah, it might actually have an effect after all. I might be wrong. I definitely remember that they boost the Knights, but it's not something that we have seen very frequently for Cav Archers. The main reason is because before this patch, Boyar's Fortitude was a stable upgrade, so you didn't really have a stable, or you didn't really made a stable and invest quite a lot of resources. It's a very expensive upgrade 200 food, 500 gold into that upgrade. But it might actually affect the Cav Archers. Let's see, 85 versus 85. Warriors Fortitude just finished, and now it's 105. So Marinelord was right. Good point over there from him. That's going to give him a nice extra boost of HP, and now Kelazhur is the one that kind of needs that upgrade. Still, Marinelord is without the attack or defense upgrade, so that 20 extra HP might be able to even things out, but even then it's going to be a little difficult because, as I said, that one extra attack and the defense upgrade actually helps quite a bit. Now it's +2 attack even, so the lack of blacksmith upgrades hurts really badly for Marinelord. He's just now grabbing Steeled Arrow for his archers, but the lack of armor is a problem, and now Kelazhur is the one bringing in the Cav Archers to neutralize the Sacred Site. It's supposed to be a very, very close game, but we're seeing a bit of a snowball effect in this one. So, Marinelord was beaten to Castle Age a tiny bit. Kelazhur is able to secure the relics, and by having the relics, he's gonna have a better gold income, and that allows him to afford those upgrades a lot easier. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. You see, he's just now finishing the second defense upgrade as well, so he will have 2 armor, 2 extra attack, whereas Marinelord still doesn't have any armor, simply because his economy is weaker. And the thing is that his economy is weaker, this means that his army is gonna be weaker because he's got less upgrades, and that's just gonna mean that Kelazhur will always be able to take advantageous fights, so Marinelord will be very inefficient with his resources, and that's just going to snowball the game even more. This is what happens when you have a dead-even mirror of 2 civilizations and one player falls behind a tiny bit. Could snowball out of control really fast. This is a good fight for Marinelord though. He had the numbers advantage, and that takes a rather reasonable engagement for him. Kelazhur secures the Sacred Site in the middle though, as he is trickling in reinforcements. There is also Warrior Monk here doing a bit of a healing. Now Kelazhur slowly taking over in this fight. Many of those Cav Archers from Marinelord are heavily damaged, but as I said, reinforcing is a little easier for Marinelord over here, but the quality of those Cav Archers I think is still better for Kelazhur. That 2 extra attack plus 2 defense as opposed to the extra 20 HP I think is difference maker, and once Boyar's Fortitude comes in for a red player, the advantage will definitely be on the side of Kelazhur. Now, I think one of the boars was taken down by Marinelord because I don't see a second boar on the map, and he's up to 325 gold, so looks like Marinelord took down one of the boars somewhere. Can't find it, but I'm fairly certain he did. So that's going to give him the required amount of gold for level 2 bounty. Looking at his upgrades, this is the problem, you see. Just 1 attack upgrade, no defense upgrade at all, whereas his opponent is going to have Boyar's Fortitude in as well. It's just the extra resources that Kelazhur was able to obtain from the relics. He was able to afford those upgrades much easier. This being said, Marinelord is taking some very good fights over here. As I said, the numbers advantage has been on his side for some time, so Kelazhur will probably need to regroup here a tiny bit as Marinelord is moving in to neutralize the Sacred Site. But now with Boyar's Fortitude, those Cav Archers in Feudal Age, or Castle Age, excuse me, are fully upgraded, so now it's just a matter of production for Kelazhur. Speaking of which, his wood income isn't amazing. He had to relocate his entire lumberjacking operation, so that's probably the reason why he stopped producing Cav Archers for some time. Marinelord has a very nice wood eco over here, but he will soon need to look for a new wood line as well, because this is running dry. On this map, you don't have a lot of wood to work with, so that's something that needs to be considered, as it looks like this board was actually taken by Kelazhur. It's a little weird because he still is at 270 gold, so I think what happened is that Marinelord killed that boar with his Cav Archers or potentially scouts, got the gold, but he didn't take the carcass. The other boar was taken down just now by Kelazhur, so both players are at around 340, 320 bounty. And oh boy, this could be massive here. Kelazhur finds these villagers on the north, and these are very exposed right now. If the tower goes up, they should be safe, but that's a big if right now, because the Cav Archers will start picking off the villagers. The siege workshop gets denied, as even though Marinelord's forces will be able to claim the Cav Archers, he's going to lose 3-4 villagers over here, which once again is just going to increase the size of that snowball even more. And now, Cav Archers returning over here. currently sitting at 62 villagers is Kelazhur. Marinelord is at 61. So dead even economy isn't... Oh, that's nice. One Cavalry from Marinelord coming in on the right side, harassing the villagers. If Kelazhur doesn't look here, that could be 5-6 villagers lost very easily. Meanwhile, Marinelord is swooping in, and the wood line is also wide open for raiding. Some of the villagers can garrison into the tower, but if you kill 6-7 villagers over here that are just unable to fit into the tower, you have to be happy with that. You see, this is exactly what Marinelord is doing. He knows exactly he lost some villagers, so he has to make up for it. Dives in, picks off a couple of villagers. Behind this one, the Cavalry is scaring away the one from Marinelord. But this is a great fight over here for Marinelord, if you ask me. He's killed quite a lot of villagers, and now he will be able to run away. Given the circumstances and the fact that his upgrades are way weaker than his opponent's upgrades, this is probably the best thing that he can hope for. Is this enough? I'm not so sure, because if you look at the resource income per minute, Kelazhur's got double the food income. Gold income is also better for him, but Kelazhur's wood income is bad, and the Cavalries cost food and wood. Mostly food, but some wood as well. So Marinelord's wood income is definitely better suited for the Cavalry production, but Kelazhur's got a better food income right now. And as I said, that trickle of gold is going to have its effect in the long run as well, because it's quite a lot of gold to work with. Look at that. One Cavalry moving in from Kelazhur as well, trying to push the wood line here of Marinelord. Defensive tower should push it away very easily, as we got a Mangonel coming in from Marinelord. The Mangonel is a little unprotected here, so the Cavalry will get some shots before it can shoot. Gets a pretty decent hit on those Cavalry as Kelazhur looks to take this fight. I think the numbers are relatively even, but the upgrades are better for Kelazhur, and that could be a difference maker over here. Marinelord currently sitting at around 18 Cavalry, Kelazhur is only at 16, but now it is 2 defense upgrades, 2 attack upgrades, and the Boyar's Fortitude versus just 1 attack upgrade and Boyar's Fortitude. And you see, despite the numbers being quite even here, Kelazhur will win this fight in a pretty decisive fashion. He's going to neutralize the Sacred Site, and behind this one, he could start harassing this wood line over here. He also is moving out to take the hunt on the other side, so he's really leveraging that map control and just grabbing those boars. That's going to allow him to have an even better food income and just continuously pop out those Cavalries and grind down the economy of Marinelord, because Marinelord's lack of map control is starting to be a concern for him. And since he doesn't have the boars, doesn't have a lot of food to work with, he needs to start adding farms, and that's very expensive right now. Like you see, Kelazhur is just now starting to add farms. Marinelord is already on 20, and that's a lot of farms. They're very expensive. You're spending a lot of wood on it, whereas Kelazhur is just basically making a tower here, a hunting cabin, and he's going for boar. That hunting cabin would have been better over here, so that it gets a better gold trickle. Nice counterattack here by Marinelord. Comes in to snipe a couple of villagers, but Kelazhur is getting deeper and deeper into Marinelord's base, as Kelazhur is now controlling the Sacred Site in the middle. Cavalry on the north were spotted, and I think Marinelord wanted to move out potentially towards that boar himself, and I think Kelazhur saw the villagers with the tower, and that's why he's moving up. There's a Springald and a Mangonel out here, but not a lot of Cavalry, so those cavalry archers with the support of those warrior monks, they should be able to take this army down rather easily. At this point, Marinelord is at 21 armies, 69 villagers, 62 villagers only for Kelazhur, so now he's a little bit behind, but 35 army. Looks like some more Cavalry are coming in for Marinelord. Those upgrades are missing really badly for Marinelord. He could technically afford some of them, but the idea here is that he's not even mining gold. So he obviously can't afford a lot of those upgrades. He's just going full food and wood because he needs all those Cavalry out. And from one perspective, that's right. You are trying to just get as many Cavalry out as you can, so you're focusing on food and wood. On the other hand, as long as you don't have those upgrades, your army is inferior compared to the one from Kelazhur. Kelazhur actually loses 2 warrior monks here, which was a little disappointing from him. But once again, army numbers seem to be rather even. In fact, it's better for Kelazhur now that these Cavalry also join up. And the upgrades are way better for Kelazhur, so he's just stomping all those Cavalry. Mangonel gets some nice shots in here. Kelazhur will have to react to that one. Some more Cavalry are coming in. Another Mangonel shot is on the way. Gets a pretty decent connection, so many of those Cavalry from Kelazhur are heavily battered, and the Mangonel is still alive. Kelazhur losing another batch of Cavalry over here. Another warrior monk is in the party though. Can it get another shutout? Yes, it can. Not a massive amount of damage done by that Mangonel, though. More Cavalry and Warrior Monks are coming in here, though, by Kelazhur. And the thing is that after all those Mangonel shots, the army numbers are still in the favor of Kelazhur on the battlefield. And as I said, since the upgrades are also better, it is just going to snowball even more. Marinelord taps out, and Kelazhur takes the game. Impressive game, and I think the unique thing about this game was how clean both players played the exact same build. So you see, pretty much the same strategy, so it all comes down to execution, slightly better fights taken, a small mistake here and there, and those are things that can finish you off in such a mirror matchup. A very, very nice game with all that Cavalry fighting going on. Sort of the new meta with the Rus, because we're seeing this more and more being used in 1v1. GG's, well played by both. Kelazhur takes the win.